Hello students, in this video I'm going to talk to you about the final project. It's called the final project because we have 5 assignments associated with a research paper. These assignments will guide you through the process of research and writing, a process that is the foundation for successful written communication in any discipline, not just in science. The citation assignment is due soon, so we need to start thinking about this. In this final project, you can explore any topic of personal and/or professional interest within the learning outcomes of the course. I have some ideas listed here at the bottom of the screen of various things that students have done. So oftentimes students have life experience that relates to our topics in the class, and they want to explore those in more depth. These might be related to your personal hobbies, to your professional work, to your personal health issues or health issues of people in your family. So many students end up writing papers about things of personal interest, but also students write just classic research papers where they want to think about a particular process and then explore that with examples in the literature. So for example, you might want to explore the topic of evolution and then look for references that explain how we do research in evolution and talk about the methods, etc., etc. It might be some biological phenomenon that you want to explore in different organisms, and so then the body paragraphs of your paper would be examples about this biological system that you're looking at. These are the learning outcomes for general biology. And you might be in my botany course and your outcomes are slightly different, but they're listed in the syllabus. So let's look at this first citation assignment. My goal here is that you get all of the nuts and bolts really dialed down to this paper before you start writing it. And also let me emphasize very dramatically that this is a 2-page paper. It is not a long paper. We're going through a long process, but we're writing a concise paper, maybe 8 to 12 paragraphs, okay? So when I say I want to iron down the nuts and bolts, what I mean is I want you to do your research first. I want to figure out how you're going to reference that research with citations. So in these first 3 citations that you'll submit, I'm really looking for formatting. Have you actually attributed proper formatting to the citation? And when I say proper formatting, I mean, did you include all the components? I don't really care if it's in APA or in MLA or Chicago. If you are not familiar with any of those, use APA. A good reference material for that is the website Purdue University OWL, Online Writing Lab, OWL. So every citation must include the author names, the date, the title of the article, the journal from which the article was found, the volume, issue, DOI, which is the digital object identifier, or the URL. This also means, in adhering to this, that I am looking for 3 peer-reviewed citations. I already posted a video about that. I'll post it again with this video to help you get on board with that. I do not want to see web references here, government pages. I want to see peer-reviewed literature. The way that scientists communicate is through the peer-reviewed literature. The idea is that before publication, the writing is vetted by a jury of peers who do similar research. And this jury of peers really assesses the scientific process. Have you followed the scientific process? Are your methods sound? Are the conclusions you're making actually viable conclusions based on those methods and analyses? So in this first assignment, it's just 3 citations. You don't even need to prove that you've read these papers. But then in a couple weeks down the road, we will get to the annotated bibliography assignment. In this assignment, you will submit 5 citations. 3 of them can be the same citations that you submitted in the citations assignment, but 3 of the 5 have to also include an annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is several sentences that describe what happened in the paper, the main concept, the methods, the findings, and it's very helpful if you know why you think that article might be useful to your research. Now, you might be reading articles and throwing them out. You might not know exactly what your topic is. And notice I haven't really asked you to tell me specifically what your topic is, because hopefully by doing the reading, you start to formulate how some pieces of research could be aggregated into a fluid narrative, an outline about some scientific topic. In this bibliography, I'll also be checking that you have peer-reviewed literature. There's plenty of space for you to also use government pages in your or other references in your paper. But for these assignments, I want to see the peer-reviewed literature. Then finally, after you've done some research, you'll start to coalesce around an idea. And don't be too attached to your original idea. You might find that the reading is telling you something else. And take the path of least resistance, and write a paper about what the research is telling you. In this outline, you might just actually submit a series of bullet points, right? This is not writing yet. This is showing me that you have a general idea of what's going on in the paper. Now, realize I already asked you to write at least 3 paragraphs in the annotated bibliography. Those paragraphs can be copied right into your paper as some of the main concepts in the body paragraphs. So, be thinking about this whole assignment as you go along. I'm asking you to write the hard sciencey part before you even write the outline. The outline will have the intro, the conclusion, and then those main concepts in the middle. Then by the time we get to the first draft, if you've met the rubric criteria for the final draft, I will propose a final grade for you. So you don't even have to submit the final draft. But if you are not there yet, submit to me whatever you have, and I will give you robust feedback on how to achieve full credit in this assignment before the final draft deadline at the end of the semester. And as I've noted before, it's fine to self-plagiarize, right? Use those paragraphs from the annotated bibliography. Furthermore, as we gaze upon the final draft rubric, keep this in mind. What am I looking for? At least 1,000 words, a well-articulated introduction, 3 to 6 body paragraphs, a conclusion, 5 citations, at least 4 of which are peer-reviewed, and all are academic, right? So don't give me any .com websites and pretend like that is academic. Academic, in my mind, is a .edu website. I will accept .government.gov websites, and then anything from a scientific organization, conservation organization, etc. Finally, I'm going to insist that you use in-text citations. At the end of a sentence where you summarize something from a paper, you include an actual reference to that paper. It says parentheses, author, last name, comma, date, parentheses, period. That's how you use the in-text citation, okay? So, this is where we are going. This is a project that will layer on, and each piece won't be too heavy, but by the end you will have created a piece of work that you should be proud of, that should inform you of a topic that you want to explore. I hope that this is helpful, and please let me know if you have questions. Wait, I want to say just one more thing. Sorry. If you have a lot of forethought and metacognition about this process, you will even direct your discussion posts and the research you might do in discussion posts towards your topic, depending on what your topic is. And so always know that if you write in discussion, it can be fodder for the paper. And the very last thing I would like to say, you are free to work on this paper at whatever cadence is appropriate for you and ahead of the deadlines. So for example, you could submit early and I will take a look. I will provide that feedback as is required. I will not just wait to the deadline and then grade them all. And finally, just ask me questions about your topics. If you want to explore topics and get me to confirm them first, which lots of students like to do, please email me and we'll set up a quick phone call. All right, thank you.